Seasons lost. In Austin, I saw pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then intent to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, holders reflected. Often bears a pit, quick, ready for its air. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Tuesday, so you know we are at Georgia's Happy Hog. Enjoying our food today. You know, it's been a little bit. We were here. What was it? A couple weeks ago. It was a couple weeks ago because I've been sick. I was sick for 2 weeks, as those of you know that I was sick. So I had to get a chance to come in and enjoy the food. But everybody was like, "Well, we're glad you waited until you got healthy." I said, "Me too." So anyway, the food is great. If you haven't been here before, Georgia's Happy Hog, located on Culbertson. In fact, let me pull it up for you so you guys know where everything is. Georgia's is amazing. If you have not been here, I suggest that you come through because it is one of my favorite places. And man, where is it? Normally I have it right here. Here it goes. Georgia's Happy Hog, located 712 Culbertson Drive, just east of Lincoln, 2 blocks east of Lincoln, south of the state capitol, north of the OU Medical Center. Cannot miss it. Across from the Harn Homestead. If you're going to go in Lincoln, you can go into the Harn Homestead or you can go east of Culbertson. And, you know, man, I'll tell you what, their burnt ends are fantastic, which, of course, I'll be probably taking to UConn on Thursday because we'll be at YNB Thursday doing our monthly show there. So the people there love their burnt ends. And, of course, every Tuesday, Friday, they have mac and cheese. And, so, of course, you know how to get my mac and cheese. And then Ace loves their chopped beef. So I will be giving him some chopped beef, so he'll be happy tonight when I run into my fat man tonight. So that's my boy. But anyway, they're closed Sundays and Mondays. They're open Tuesday through Friday from till 11 to 7. Closed. Then they're open on Saturdays from 11 to 5. Closed on Mondays, Sundays, and Mondays. Of course, they'll be cooking, getting everything ready for the upcoming week. So we appreciate those guys and everything they do. And, of course, this is brought to you by, we're here courtesy of YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. Of course, they're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, and they are sponsoring us to be here at Georgia's Happy Hog and other women, minority, and black-owned businesses, which we're going to do more diversity and adding on different businesses that we will be going to this year. Starting in February, we're going to be going to different locations. We'll still be coming to Georgia's, but we'll still be going to a couple of other restaurants. We'll be doing some other things, including other businesses, women-owned businesses. Of course, when it warms up, we will be back at Cat's Tavern, which, of course, is one of our favorite locations. That being said, you can go into one of their 5 locations at 401 Elm, which is 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is just south of I-40, right there on Garth Brooks, right in front of the hospital, right across from Louis. Cannot miss it. And then, of course, YB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. Or you can go online and pre-qualify at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. So you can do that, or you can go in and see them, whichever one you want. Doesn't matter. They just love to see you come in. They're great people. I've known them pretty much all my life. And so anyway, so I suggest that you go by and check them out, just like you come by here at Georgia's, and we appreciate their support. So that being said, the Thunder, of course, we talked about that yesterday, how they won, and they have a big game coming up against the Golden State Warriors. Now in NBA action last night, remember, we were the only game on Sunday. which I think did a lot for two reasons. One, it gave more people a chance to see what SGA is and what he does. Number two, for the MVP race. Number two, it gave everybody a chance to really see J-Dub and give him a chance to be a reserve in the All-Star game. And like I said yesterday, I don't believe he is one of the top 24 players, which are what they're going. Remember what they're doing this year. They're having the East and West, but they're dividing them up into 3 teams. Okay, that's what they're doing differently this year. So here's the All-Star breakdown. Here are the West and the East players, and of course, our coach Mark Dagnall will be the head coach of the West, or will be one of the team's coaches, and then of course one of our assistants, whichever one. It's interesting to see which one he's going to pick to be the assistant coach or the coach for another team. So on the West, of course, SGA, Steph, LeBron, Jokic, and KD. And like I had said before, when I looked at this, my problem with this is really simple. I just don't think that that LeBron should be on there. I mean, I know he's LeBron, and I know that you have to have him on there simply because people, they want to see him. But for me, he's not one of the top. I mean, he is one of the top 24, but starting, no. Like I said, my West starting 5 was SGA, Ant-Man, Jokic, KD, and Wemby. That was my starting 5. And then from the East, this was my exact starting 5. Jalen Brunson, Mitchell, Tatum, Giannis, and Cat. So the Knicks not being this, it's weird because the Cleveland Cavaliers have the second best record, 1 loss behind us, but yet they only have 1 starter. The Knicks are 3rd in the East, but they have 2 starters. And the question is, who do you want to take off for the East to put a starter in? I'm not putting Darius Garland in front of Brunson, so that's gone. And then are you putting Mobley in front of Tatum or in front of Giannis? Or actually he's one of the others, so no, I'm not doing that. Definitely not putting in front of Cat. So I don't have any problem with the 2 Knicks being in the starting 5. I just don't. Now, when it comes to the West, you've got Wemby coming off the bench. You've got Ant-Man. You've got Jalen Green. You got Ja. You have AD. And, of course, I believe J-Dub, if he doesn't get a reserve, he will be picked by Coach Dagnall because that's his boy. So we already know how that's going to work. And I don't mean that boy isn't boy. I mean, boy, man, that's his guy. That's his guy. That's a better way to put it because I know some people are going, oh, his white man called him a boy. It's not what I'm talking about. We're not back in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, even the 60s and sometimes 70s, because I have been called boy before. But anyway, I put Jalen Green in there off the Houston Rockets, who are the number 2 ranked team. And remember, well, I guess you don't know unless you check, but we'll go over that in a minute, the scores from last night, where the Rockets beat the Celtics last night. When I saw that game, what a great game that was, great finish. The Rockets took care of the Celtics last night. So anyway, do you do Şengün or you do Jalen Green? I don't care either one, but, I'm just going to pick Jalen Green simply because Little G, my dude, that's my favorite guy. That's his favorite player is Jalen Green. So if I'm going to pick somebody, I asked him, I said, I got to get your SGA jersey. And he's like, I'm not wearing that. And, of course, he's not wearing it. He lives in Houston. That's his people. So I think that's funny. Anyway, I picked Jalen Green as my choice to be on that list. That's what I did because I just think that he deserves it. And that's kind of how I picked it. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can pick guys, you can pick whoever you want. But that's kind of my thing. I thought that Jalen Green deserves to be on the All-Star team. And then, of course, you have to pick somebody from Memphis. They're 3rd in the West. So I took Ja. I mean, I know Ja's fallen out of favor for a lot of people, but is he still one of the best players in the league? Hell, yes, he is. So I want to pick him up. I took him as one of my reserves. And then, of course, AD, who is he's just one of the best big men in the league. He just is. And I still don't know why he hasn't been a defensive player of the year because he's just a menace. An absolute menace in the paint. I still don't know how he's not been an MVP, a defensive player of the year. I don't know how that works. Anyway, and then, of course, J-Dub is my last guy in there. Like I said, do I think he's one of the top 24 players? Hell no. But do I think he deserves to be on the team? Hell yes, because how can we have the best record in the NBA, which we do, and then not have 2 players on the NBA deal? Now, I do believe that if Chet was still healthy, I do believe Chet would have been voted in. or as a reserve. And then I do believe that J-Dub would probably be picked by Dagnall again as that lad also. Because, I mean, I think we deserve every bit of two guys, if not three, 100%. Because the way I look at it is the Cleveland Cavaliers have two, probably three. Now, remember, their coach is the coach of the East or will be one of the head coaches. So you've already got Mitchell on there. I'm pretty sure Darius Garland's going to be there or Mobley. Now, I picked them both. It's because I think that they're leading the East and they're the second. They have the second best record in the NBA. I don't see any reason why they don't have two guys in there. That's three guys in there. I have no problem if they only have two. I'm cool with that. But Mobley would be one of my guys in there along with Darius Garland. Now, here are my picks. Now, these of course are my picks. Now, Thursday on TNT, we'll find out who the reserves are and all of that on Thursday. So I've got Cade in there because I think Cade, even though the Pistons are, I think, 10th or 9th in the East, the fact that they're even having a winning record of where they are compared to where they've been, I think Cade deserves every bit of the respect of getting them there and what he's been averaging. I think that he deserves to be an NBA All-Star. He is just playing lights out. He's killing everybody. And plus they're winning. I just don't see any reason why you can't keep the guy out. That's just me. Trey is one of those that, you can leave me and you can leave him out. I would pick Trey. I like Trey Young. I think Trey has deserved, considering what he's doing with Atlanta, he is the only guy really they got. They've got Johnson. He's a good player. But, I mean, Trey is the guy. He's the guy. So, now granted, I may be prejudiced because of Cade and because of Trey. I might have a prejudiced view of them. I might have an altered view. I might have a, loyalty towards them because one's an Oklahoma State guy, one's an OSU or an OU guy, and Trey is from Norman, Oklahoma, down the street from us in Oklahoma City. So now, am I jaded? Okay, call me that. But I still think there are two of the best guards in the league, especially in the East. Darius Garland. I believe Darius Garland is every bit of an important part of the Cleveland Cavaliers, as is Donovan Mitchell. So they either in there when Donovan Mitchell's not on the floor, you've got Darius Garland. He was killing them the other night, and I just think that's just a guy he should be in there. Mobley, I don't know. I mean, if they have three, great. If they don't, like I said, I mean, if I have a choice between Garland and Mobley, looking at what the East has as far as big men, I'm probably going to put Mobley in there, and that's why I put him in there, because you've got Brunson, you've got Mitchell, you've got Cade, you have Trey. Do you need Garland? Do you need that's five guards. So do you really need that along with Tatum, who can bring the ball up for Jaylen Brown, who can bring the ball up the floor? So do you really need them to do that? And then I've got Dame as my other guard, and I just don't think you're going to have that. What is that? 6 guards. I don't think you're going to have 6 guards. I really don't. So, but anyway, that's just my prejudiced view of how I want it. I don't know how you guys are thinking, but that's my prejudiced view of who I think should be in the game and who should be playing. That's just me. I know that it's slighted, fine, whatever. Okay, I'm cool with that. Now, going back to NBA scores yesterday, here are the NBA scores and what all happened yesterday and last night in the NBA. I'll tell you this, I thought that there were some good games last night. There really was some good games last night. And if you guys didn't get to see them, I'm sorry if you did not get to see them. But there were some really good games last night in the association, if that's what they want to call it. I will say this. I watched the Lakers and the Hornets. Our big boy was a monster last night. He just was. He was an absolute beast last night. Okay, talking about AD. He was a monster last night. Then, of course, you have the Pistons and the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers, they're just doing what they do. They're taking care of business. They're beating the teams they should beat. I mean, that's what they're doing. And, of course, the West is dominating the East, which is what the West does, because it is the stronger conference. But, the Cavaliers have a weak conference, and they're taking care of business and doing what they need to do. So we'll see if they can continue that. I think they have 9 losses, and I know we have 8. So, and then, of course, the Grizzlies and the Knicks. Man, the Knicks, they just beat them down. They just absolutely beat them down. That's exactly what happened. The Knicks just put their foot on their necks and just squeezed and popped it out. That's exactly what happened. There was no chance. The Grizzlies, they didn't have a prayer. When you get beat 38, 40, but you basically get beat 40 points, I mean, what are you gonna say? You weren't ready to play. They put their it was in the garden, and they just put their feet on their neck and they just popped their brains out. They just steamrolled them. Is what happened. Then the Rockets and the Celtics, like I said, I watched that game. What a great man! I tell you what, Amen Thompson, he made some big shots, and he's not known as an offensive guy. His brother is an offensive guy. He's not an offensive guy. But he made some big shots last night, and defensively, he's just a handful. And like I said, I've told everybody, and I told you all before the season, I said, watch out for those damn Rockets. They have a coach. They've got a point guard. You've got a big man who's doing what he needs to do inside Şengün. And then you've got some guys who are athletic, who can play defense and run the floor and score. Different guys. And then what was our favorite guy, Dylan Brooks, what did he make? 10 threes last night, which is a record for the Rockets. 10 threes in a game. 10 threes is what he made last night, okay? He had a monster night for them, and he's just, he's not my favorite guy, but, whatever. But anyway, if you missed that game, you need to go back and watch it on YouTube or whatever, and it's definitely worth the watch. What a great game last night put in by the Rockets. The Heat beat the Magic, and like I said, the Magic are struggling ever since they've got the big guy back. He's just trying to fit in because they were winning like crazy before he went out. And then now that he's back, they're just really struggling. So I just don't know what the problem is. I don't know that they were winning without him. Like I said, they were in a team mode. They were passing the ball. They were scoring. You had different guys contributing. And they lost Franz Wagner and him both. And so I just don't know. Since he's been back, I think, what are they, 500 since he came back with their record. So that's interesting to see. Plus, on top of that, Jimmy Butler, my friend Jennifer Falkenstein's favorite guy, suspended for the rest of the year or indefinitely, I should say, by the Miami Heat because Jimmy decided that he came to practice after his suspension and decided that he wasn't going to sit on the bench and he wanted to start. So what did they do? They took him out. So what did they do? They took him out and said, okay, we're suspending you. And remember, because he missed the flight or he was late for the team plane, it was like, dude, come on. And it's just great. He's just being a menace. That's all he's doing. He wants out. He's being a menace. This is what he's doing. And a lot of teams, like, to me, this is a problem. He worked his way out of Minnesota being the same way. He worked his way out of Chicago, worked his way out of Philly. Got to Miami, and he's been a model citizen. But now that he's older, he wanted one last payday. And Pat Riley's like, no, we're going younger. We're not, you're 35, 36, or whatever. I'm not giving you a 2 or 3 year deal, giving you $100 million. I'm not doing that. And remember, he's already going to opt in for next year. It's his option, and he's going to opt in for his $52 million, which, of course, he's not going to throw away $52 million and say, oh, I'm standing on my principles. I'm not going to do it. No, he's going to opt in because nobody's going to pay him $50 million. I mean, you're aging. You don't play the whole season. You've been hurt. I'm not giving you $50 million. So I know he's going to opt in, but there's certain teams that may pay him, like the Phoenix Suns, because their owner's young and he wants to bring a team there. But I'm sorry, I'm not giving you $100 million for 2 to 3 years. I'm not doing that. You're not worth it. But that's what Jimmy's won his last payday, and by rightful so, I would too. So would you. So don't get all mad at him because he wants that, because you'd be the exact same way. And you would, so don't trip. Now, the Kings and the Nets, the Kings doing what the Kings do. They scare me. They're coming to town this weekend. They scare me. Saturday night, it's going to be a great game. I don't really know what to think about it. I don't think I'm going because of the simple fact that we have the OSU basketball alumni reunion game, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. So our reunion weekend is this weekend. So that's Friday night in Stillwater, and then Saturday we have the game. So we're going to have that at 2 o'clock. So I don't think I want to, go from there, come here, and I just don't think I want to do that. Sorry, I don't think I want to do that. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad, but I just don't. I'd rather wait till Monday to go to the Bucks game. I'm not trying to say anything mean, but that's just me. But anyway, the Kings took care of business over the Nets, and then of course the Pelicans and the Raptors. The Pelicans, I they're an enigma to me. I don't really know what to think of the Pelicans. They have talent. They have players. I don't know. I don't know if it's they don't have a good mixture, guys that don't flow together or don't work together or whatever. I guess that could be it. But they just don't do. They're underachieving. And I don't get it. I mean, they've got talent. They've got players. They got positional. But I don't know why they're not winning. I really don't. I really don't know what the situation is with them. And then, of course, the Nuggets and the Bulls. The Bulls do and what they're doing. Josh Giddey got there, get them in a different mode. And the fact that they can beat the Nuggets are one of those teams where they just don't have depth. They just don't have depth. And, we were talking the other day, Nathan and I were talking the other day about that, about how, the Nuggets scare us. And I think in some ways they scare me, but I just believe in a 7-game series, unless Dagnall makes stupid decisions, which he'll make too many stupid decisions because he's going to make stupid decisions. Unless he makes too many, I think we're going to be fine. But, anyway, the Nuggets losing to the Bulls in Chicago, they just don't have the bodies. They just don't. And you can't play Jokic 40 minutes. You can't play Murray 40 minutes. You can't play Gordon 40 minutes. You can't play. Russell could probably play 48 minutes the way he plays. But you've got to give these guys rest, especially if you're trying to make a run in the playoffs. But I believe their time has came and gone until they can make some changes. The T-Wolves beating the Hawks in Minnesota. You got to, like what I've always said, you have to take care of your home field. You got to take care of your home. You got to win at home. When you play at home, you got to win. And the Thunder have done that, even though we've lost to the Mavericks twice at home. I think we lost to Golden State at home. Well, I think we've lost 2 or 3 at home, which, but that's the coach. That's his coaching style. His decisions are just mind-boggling. It's funny. I just don't have the confidence in him. I just really don't. The Mavericks, of course, taking care of business over the Wizards, as they should, because they're just at home and the Wizards on the road. You never know which Wizards team you're going to get. The one's going to fight you upside down or the one that's not. And for the most part, they don't. So that's how that is. And then, of course, you've got the Bucks and the Jazz. The Bucks are coming. They're slowly getting their stuff together, slowly figuring out how to play together and what they need to do. So that's interesting to see how they're going to play out. I can't wait to watch them Monday. Thank God we got iHeart back because we would be in major trouble. We're in trouble with him, but without him, we would really, really, really be in trouble against them. But once again, the coach's decisions, as long as he does what the hell he's supposed to do, will be fine. The question is, will he? Then, of course, you have the Clippers and the Suns last night. The Suns squeaked by 2, which is they should, and they should do that, but they squeaked by. So you've got to appreciate what you saw in them. They're a team that really has a chance to really do something. Now, the question is, will they? And after we go through this, we'll go through the NBA standings so you can kind of see what we're talking about. So tonight's games, you have the Lakers at the Sixers, which, of course, the Lakers going for, their 5th in a row, 5th in a row, against the 76ers. And once again, we don't know which the hell 76ers team is going to show up, but we don't want them to show up because, remember, we want the 76ers to lose. That is good for the Thunder and our having a chance to have a high pick. So we want that. Jazz and the Warriors. Warriors should handle that. And plus, remember, we play Golden State tomorrow, so I believe we're probably already in San Francisco. So I'm assuming that we're already there waiting on them, and we'll watch them play tonight. And then we play them tomorrow night on ESPN, thank God. So I don't have to listen to our broadcasting people. Jeez, God, it's like, it's like listening to somebody run their figures down the chalkboard. They're terrible. But I guess what you get is what you get. Rockets, Hawks. Whew, man. Rockets coming off a huge win last night. Back-to-back, are they going to be able to take care of the Hawks in Atlanta? And Atlanta, they're so by the ATL, so much fun, so many good things to do. But we're not going to talk about it. But those of you who know, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the Rockets, the question is, will they be down after their big win over the Celtics last night, or will they be able to, maintain the momentum and go ahead and take care of the business over the Hawks? And then, of course, the Bucks and the Trailblazers is the last game, along with the Jazz and Warriors tonight. So I don't know who the hell which games I want to watch. If I had to want to watch one, I'd probably want to watch the Lakers and the Sixers just to see who the hell shows up. And then after that, I don't really care about the Rockets and Hawks. I don't really care about the Jazz and Warriors. So those games really don't matter to me as much. Now, when it comes to the NBA standings, this is what I was talking about. Okay, the Thunder, 8 losses. We have the best record, 37-8. The Cavs are 37-9. And I look at this and I think, Rockets, 31-14, winners of 3 in a row. They're coming. So they should beat the Hawks because you look at the Hawks on the other side. They're 22-24, losers of 5 straight. So you would think that the Rockets should handle their business. But once again, they played last night, big emotional win against the Celtics. So the question is what's going to happen after that. Then, of course, you got the Grizzlies, 31-16, losers of 1. Nuggets, losers of 2 in a row, 28-19, 9.5 back. Lakers, like I said, they won 4 in a row. I knew it was 4 or 5, whatever it was. I couldn't remember what it was. But they have won 4 in a row. They should handle their business tonight against the Sixers because when you look at the 76ers, look at where they're not even the top 10 in the East. That's just – it's just underachieving like you would not believe. But, they got what they wanted. They got the people that they wanted. So Paul George is, on the end of his career just collecting checks, it seems like, even though he's still a really, really good two-way player. I'm not going to take anything away from PG. I do like PG. Always liked him, especially when he was at Indiana with the Pacers before he broke his leg. Then you have the Clippers, losers of 1. T-Wolves, winners of 3 in a row. The Suns, winners of 3 in a row. And remember, we have the Suns next Wednesday night. Next Wednesday night, we have the Suns. Then you got the Mavs coming in after that and the Kings. So back to, remember, we were talking about the All-Star teams. The Thunder definitely have Shea. And I think the Dagnall is going to pick, if J-Dub is not a reserve, that he will put him in as a reserve. Then you have, so the Rockets, I look at them, they have the 3rd best record in the league. So how do you not have one guy on their team in a reserve? To me, you got to have You have to have Jalen Green or Şengün. I like Jalen Green better, like I said, because that's a little G's guy. So, like I said, I am kind of prejudiced with some of my picks. I'm not going to lie. I'm being, straight up here. And then, of course, the Grizzlies are tied for the 4th best record in the league. So the Knicks have 2 guys on the league, and you have the Grizzlies. Now, the Grizzlies are in the West, not in the East, but I had to throw Ja on there, or Jaren Jackson Jr., whichever one you want. I'm good with either one, but I'm going to pick Ja because he's the most electric, and Jaren Jackson is more of an inside guy. So depending on what you want to do with that. Nuggets, I do believe that they both would probably be on here if the Thunder weren't doing what they were doing. I believe you would have Ja and Jaren Jackson Jr. on there. Then, of course, the Nuggets, you've got Jokic, and I don't think they deserve anybody else after that. The Lakers have LeBron and probably AD, and LeBron's on there simply because he's LeBron. Now, is he one of the top 20 players in the league? Yes, but is he one of the top 5, 10? Man, I think he's just outside. I don't think he has at 40 years, 42, 41, whatever he is, I just don't think he's where he was before. Then, of course, you've got the Clippers. They don't need anybody on there. The T-Wolves, Ant-Man should be on there, is on there as a reserve, 100 quid. Now, I had him as a starter, but, he will be a reserve. And then, of course, the Suns, you've got KD, and I even believe Book probably should be in there, but I just don't know how you put him in there. How do you stick him in over Ja or over Jalen Green or over Şengün or over Jaren Jackson Jr.? I don't see how you can do that, but it's about matching up bigs and littles. So we'll see how they do that. Then of course you've got the Mavs in there after that, and they just, to me, they don't have anybody. I mean, if I'm gonna put anybody, I'm gonna put Kyrie. But Luka would have definitely been on there, but Luka's not here, so I'm not gonna do that. And then, of course, the Kings. Man, I think Sabonis should have been on there last year. I think he got screwed this year, not so much, but last year I think he got screwed. Or was it 2 years ago that he got screwed? He should have been on. Maybe it was 2 years ago. He got screwed out of that. And then, of course, the East, when you look at it, I don't really care so much about who they have over there. So that being said, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors because that matters to us, the people who have our backs. We want to have them and recognize them as the people who take care of us. So I want to thank SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over there. They love to be able to take care of you. They love to be behind the scenes. So if you have a new complex or a new building you're building, hit them up. They'll make sure everything is laid out properly where you have no worries at all. And then, of course, on top of that, if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, they'll be able to make sure you have clean drinking water. And like we always said, who the hell does not like clean drinking water? You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of obvious. And then, of course, Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, my guy, Jose Fierro, can do that. I saw he had problems with his truck yesterday, and he's got to get that done. But, when you buy an older truck, I mean, what are you constantly, it's like having an older car. You're constantly fixing stuff on them. Or, especially like a boat, you're constantly doing something to it. So he's constantly got it going, and I think he's got it up and running now. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. And, of course, we are here today at George's Happy Hog, courtesy of YNB, loading us up and supporting this great establishment as far as food. They are really good. If you haven't been here, like I said, you come by Georgia. So I want to thank YNB for their support on that. There, like I said, you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com, ynbok.com. Or you can go into their 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is on Garth Brooks, just south of I-40. Cannot miss it, right in front of the hospital, right across from Louis. Cannot miss it, it's right there. And then, of course, YNB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd Street between Rockwell and MacArthur. It's so funny, I was talking to my girl, my friend Jennifer Falkenstein, about that. She goes, "Oh, that's Randy's bank?" I go, "Yeah," because we were passing by. She's got a house for sale over there in Bethany. So I thought it was just kind of funny. She goes, "Oh man, I thought they were in Yukon." Yeah, they are in Yukon, but they're in Bethany. Take care of those people too. And then, of course, Elm Grove Clothing. If you don't know, Jonathan has been taking care of Kendrick Perkins. Go ahead and check out. Every time you see Kendrick, he's got a new suit on, new something. Jonathan, proud of him. Binky getting some stuff done, getting exposure out there. Way to go, brother. Glad you're getting some stuff done with that. But contact Jonathan or Binky. We call him Binky. 405-332-8787. So hit our boy up. He'd love to be able to take care of you, all right? Now, that being said, the OSU Basketball Alumni Reunion is this weekend. And I'm excited for that because, I played basketball there. And so I'm excited about that coming up and what's going on with that because it's exciting. And this is the thing. It's a pink out. On Friday night is the actual reunion where we're doing the reunion. And then Saturday at 2 o'clock, February 1st, is the Oklahoma State versus Utah game. And it's called Pink Out. And what they want to do is raising awareness for breast cancer, which, of course, I'm all about the breast cancer since my sister passed away for it. We used to do breast cancer T-shirts every year for my academy, and then we stopped after year 10. We did it 10 years, and we started out with just 35 shirts, giving away 35 shirts. The last year we did 175 shirts we gave away. I want to thank all of our sponsors for taking care of that and making sure people got to wear pink to support breast cancer. Couldn't have done it without these guys, but like I said, we thought gave away 35 our first year, 175 our last year. That's just impressive. Love those guys, and I appreciate everybody that did that for us. But anyway, 2 p.m. at Gallagher High, but all donations will be collected by the Eddie Sutton Foundation for breast cancer. Okay, so everything will be a write-off. You can donate to Coach Sutton's foundation, and all that money will go to breast cancer. And by the way, love Coach, love that bobblehead. I wonder if they're going to give us bobbleheads this year again. I know they gave us bobbleheads a few years ago. And so anyway, so hopefully they'll do that for the alumni reunion. I have no idea what they're giving us this year. Hopefully some pink T-shirts. If you're going to have us out there and you're going to introduce us, hopefully you'll have us pink T-shirts since it's pink out. That's what I would think. But we shall see. So it's just kind of sad because we used to get basketball shoes. We used to get nice polo shirts with Nike shoes every year when Coach was there. And then Travis came in there. Anyway, that's him. I'm not going to get into detail about that guy. But on a brighter note, Oklahoma State basketball pink out Saturday at 2 o'clock, OSU versus Utah, 2 p.m. Gallagher-Iba Arena. And then, of course, we all will be there. A lot of us will be there supporting Coach Lutz and his new staff. And then also just to for the basketball reunion for us to get together with some of the older guys so we can see those. So pumped up about that. Hopefully you guys can make it and will make it there to the thing, okay? Hopefully you guys can do that. So that being said, once again, I want to thank the guys here at Georgia's Happy Hog. Like I said, located 712 Culbertson Drive, just east of Lincoln, just right here off Culbertson Drive. You can't go west because that's the Harn Homestead, and it is south of the state capitol off Lincoln, north of the OU Medical Center off of Lincoln. And you want to go, you can only go east, go up the hill, and you'll come to a stop sign, and then you go past that, and it's right there. You cannot miss it. Fantastic food. Everybody comes and just raves about it that I bragged on and told people to come here. They're open Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 7, Saturdays 11 to 5, closed Sundays and Mondays. So come check these guys out. Trust me, it'll be worth it. And their mac and cheese is only on Tuesdays and Fridays. They have mac and cheese Tuesday and Fridays. Now, the rest of the time, they do have greens. They do have cornbread. They do have different desserts. I'm still mad because I'm not going to get my lemon cake now. They don't have lemon cake now until back to the summer and spring. Excuse me, spring and summer. Because their lemon cake, deliciousness. Pure deliciousness. Now, remember, the Thunder will be playing Golden State tomorrow at 7 o'clock. The game is at 7. The game's at 7. Let me check to make sure I don't want to give you all a false time. I believe the game is at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Let me see. The game is at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. See, I was wrong. Game is at 9 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night, and then it will be on ESPN tomorrow night, so we get to watch it on ESPN. It's going to be a late night, so I don't know if we're going to do the show because it's going to be so late because, like, the game will be on by the time it's over with. It'll be 11:30, so we may come on and do After the Storm, which we usually do, but that's kind of late. Sometimes we have people that are up late, so on Wednesday people have to work, so we'll see how that's going to work out. So that being said, hey, I want to thank YNB for their sponsorship for us to be here today at Georgia's Happy Hog. And like I said, if you haven't been here, come check it out. It's fantastic. It's delicious. And trust me, you will enjoy it.